All right. So, Bloodshot, starring Van Diesel. I don't know the names. And Guy Pearce. So, this movie is about a soldier that died during his mission, and a scientist took his body and experimented on him and put nano machines in his blood, which makes him rapidly heal and also be able to rapidly heal and also able to take punishment. Well, I mean, he could take punishment, but his body can take punishment, but he get hurt, but he heals. The nanomachines comes in right away and heals his body. Which I'm looking like, if you get shot in the heart or the brain, when you die like instantly, I guess maybe you don't die right away, so the nanomachines will repair it before it's fatal, I guess. So that's his superpower basically. Somehow he's stronger too. Like I guess they make him stronger. I don't really get it with it because They didn't really explain what makes him stronger. Like I was wondering, like they could just gave me a throwaway line, but it seemed like his ability should be just to be able to heal, but for some reason he's super strong, and they don't explain why. So that's basically his ability, and he's a a soldier, so he's good at warfare and things like that. But so he goes on missions, and then he come home to his wife, and have a nice life. And something interfered with his life. Somebody came out and killed his wife. So now he's bent on revenge. When he wake up out of his coma, when he wakes up, he find out he don't have a memory. Then he find out who killed. His memory comes back, and he goes on a relentless mission to kill the person who killed his wife or whatever. So that's kind of like what the movie is about. So what you kind of see in the trailers, that what he do, they reset him and do that over and over again so they can get targets. So when they got targets they want to eliminate, they will make that the person who killed his wife, which is so he's a weapon and they using him, and that's the where it all kind of starts, and and I'm like, okay, that's a easy enough premise. So basically the action is good. The action is good. They got a little too much slow motion in there. It's like, okay, that's dead, man. All that slow motion now is just it's like, man, we don't need that much slow motion, dude. But they got a lot of scenes where they basically get him getting shot and torn apart, and he heals himself. And then it was like, okay, you do heal yourself, and your nanomachines got to work. So his weakness, I was waiting to find out what his weakness is. His weakness is if he get hurt too much, the nanomachines can repair him, but the nanomachines can get tired and they can't keep on repairing them. I believe that's his weakness or whatever. But they never exploited that. That's where I was like, they never really. It's almost like he didn't have it. They didn't even mention it. I just figured it out by seeing what, by them talking about what's going on in the lab, like as he's getting shot, and they was like, the nanomachines are working overtime to heal this, and they can only do so much or whatever. So that's his weakness, and I'm like, okay, so that means you can get shot, but how about you just don't walk into bullets? That way, if you get shot, you dodging and ducking, and you get shot. Okay, I'll take one shot, but no, he just he just walked right into gunfire, and get riddled with bullets. Like, okay, I know you cool because you Vin Diesel, but now this is being stupid. So, so I mean, it goes from there, and you kind of know how these stories go. And I don't even want to spoil it, which is, it's an action movie. But that's the thing. This movie actually could have been, it could have been better because the story ain't a bad story, and the characters actually all did pretty decent. Like all the actors, I think all the actors did good in doing what they job. But the story, it seems to be it's going somewhere and saying something, and then as soon as that happens, they throw some explosions at you and some action and some slow motion. And when I say this, it seems like the story's going somewhere. It's because they kind of question things, and I really like they kind of got this whole thing where we know they kind of reset his memory, so they give you a point of view where from his point of view where everything is new, and then they give you a point of view from the people that's working with him where they already know that this they keep doing this. So everybody was acting kind of weird, and then you see from their point of view, oh, this is why they acting weird and kind of like whatever, dude, because they know they're gonna do this again. They do this every time you wake up, So that was kind of cool how they did that. But I feel like that was all undercut by the action, which the action was cool, but it's almost like this movie didn't want to be good. It's almost like they was like, hey, we got to throw a lot of action in here. So we got a guy with the 4 arms and stuff. I'm gonna get to that. That's the villains. The villains, they pretty cool. The villains, I actually kind of like Guy Pearce in this movie too, because Guy Pearce was the scientist who made him, and he was evil, but he wasn't a cliche evil villain, because I felt like he was doing it because, I don't know, I just felt like, okay, he just felt reasonable. He didn't feel like that evil guy that was just so evil for no reason. He had a reason, and to him, soldiers are expendable. And this guy was dead. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's why he's like, dude, you ain't got no life. You didn't have no next of kin. You died. Now, you know what I'm saying? I gave you purpose. And that's my thing, where he's like, oh, I got a life. You can't tell me what I want to do and all that. It's like, well, I mean, you did die. But that's what I'm thinking. Like, why don't they just wipe his memory and not let him remember anything? That's what I was thinking. So I was thinking in the vein of Universal Soldier, where they didn't remember nothing, but then that's kind of similar what happened. Some of the plots is similar to Universal Soldier, where they died and they couldn't remember. Then they start to remember who they were. But that was cool. So I like Guy Pearce in the movie. Surprisingly, he's kind of a cliche villain, but if something about him, I liked him. I didn't dislike him. I kind of felt, and it's funny because all the villains, all the bad guys, I felt like they was just doing their job. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I didn't feel like, oh man, I hope Vin Diesel get them. I kind of was hoping that they didn't die because they was just doing their job. You know what I'm saying? I really like the gadgets, man. When I say the gadgets, because all the villains had augmented bodies. That was they had prosthetics that was made from the main villain. As you can see, those extra arms, which they was pretty cool. Guy Pearce made all these prosthetics that helped them be better fighters and better soldiers and stuff. Excuse me. And that was actually it was actually pretty dope. I really like all their little weapons and stuff they had. It was pretty cool. It made for a good action set piece, and that part right there is the part when they falling off the thing that looked pretty fake, but all the hand-to-hand fights was pretty good, and like I said, all the action with when he fighting the henchmen and all that part right there when he falling off the thing, it's pretty good. So actually had fun watching this movie. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I was expecting this movie to be real bad, and I sat down and I had fun with it, man. And it was, it was not a great movie. It was what it was. It kind of knew what it was, but that's my point where I felt like the script was starting to look like a good movie, and then they just kind of just threw action at you. It's like, hey, no, forget that good movie. Here goes some action. Here goes some CGI. Here goes some slow motion. It's like, oh, okay. Well, we'll take what we can get. So, okay, so I'm gonna give it my rating, dude. This was a good action movie without saying much, and it had some good action set pieces. Where it did some things that I don't really see like all the time. It had like this scene right here where they was fighting in this tunnel. That was actually a pretty cool scene, man. I really like what they did with that. It was kind of different from what I usually see. So for that, I gave it points, and I wasn't bored. And I like the characters. I heard people say they didn't like. This is a black British guy in here. A lot of people said they didn't. I heard some people say they didn't like him because he was like making a lot of jokes or whatever. I thought he was kind of funny. Probably because he's British and not American. Because if he's like a Kevin Hart like character, I'd be like, I get annoyed. But he is that character. He's this comic relief that keep on cracking jokes. But he's British, so I'm cool with it. But no, seriously. I thought it was a fun movie, a fun action movie that you can kind of sit back and take your brain out and just enjoy some action. The story, it's not complicated. It start to turn into something that could be good, but then it ends up being just another dumb action movie. But you can have fun with it. So for that, I'm gonna give it all right. I'm not gonna really give it a dope because it's not. It is what it is. It's a dumb action movie. But it was all right. It was a good watch, especially when you know what you're getting into. And it's kind of like what Vin Diesel is. He make dumb action movies, and when you see him, don't expect much. Sometimes his voice is so gravelly, I can't really make out what he's saying. But when he try to act serious, it's not good. It's not good, man. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. So that is my review for BloodShot 2020, the Vin Diesel movie based off the Valiant comic character BloodShot. So thanks for checking out the podcast, and subscribe to the channel. We need to get those subscriptions up. So leave me a comment if you like it, if you like the movie, or if you like the review. So that will be it. All right, I'm out of here. Peace. I always press the wrong one.